When it's time to get a new car for anyone in your family, just remember, nobody but Nimnick, the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville. Get the latest price breaks on 2023 and 2024 models or the newest 2025 vehicles in the showroom on Phillips Highway, or shop online at nimnickbuickgmc.com 24 hours a day. GMC Sierras, Yukons, and the redesigned Acadias, or get the all-new redesigned line with Buicks. It's nobody but Nimnick, and part of the reason why is this is a first-class buying experience here at Nimnick Buick GMC. You're not just a customer, you're a friend. This is about getting a vehicle that best fits you and getting you on the road, and also helping you and your family down the road. Nimnick has a treating you right guarantee, courtesy, respect, fairness. The most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer, nobody but Nimnick.
Welcome to No Gate Fees with Brent Martineau on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
All right, here we go. No gate fees in the middle of April and in the middle of the postseason already, or at least just the start of it, for high school baseball, the end of the regular season in softball, and that's coming up in a couple of weeks. And state championships are just around the corner when it comes to these two sports. Brent Martineau along with Jason Hamby, and a lot of things going on today. We're going to actually go to college to visit with the University of North Florida Osprey softball team, the best team in the A-Sun this year, and they've got a big one with Jacksonville University. So for softballers out there, hey, heed our advice. Go check out some good college action, and I love it. They put them on 7 o'clock Thursday, 7 o'clock Friday, 7 o'clock Saturday at UNF. So good softball to be able to go watch and maybe pick one of those nights, even if you're playing. Get your team over there to support the Ospreys and the Dolphins in some good local softball. So we'll go out to practice in just a bit, check in with a couple of the stars of the team, and also Jeff Conrad, the coach, who's done a fantastic job at UNF. We'll also have our committed to the uncommitted. So we've got a lot to get to over the next few weeks in highlighting some of the local kids, specifically juniors now, as most of the seniors kind of know where they are going or have chosen to either move on from the sport or already found a home. And we'll have our high five power polls as well, still to come here on the show. Coach of the Week, presented by Perfect Rack Billiards, too. So big show lined up here as we get ready for some playoff action. And let's set the table with that. I don't know if Hamby was talking to me. I don't want to bring him into it, but Covenant Warriors, we always check in on them. We got a temperature check on the Covenant Warriors. Well,
yes, sir.
Big dub last night, 9-0.
Yep, we got a dub, and everything's about Thursday night now.
So Thursday night against Eagles View for a district championship in year number one.
In year number one.
How about that?
And no program at our school, no athletic team has ever won a district championship yet in school history.
And you have no seniors and one junior.
Yep, one junior, one sophomore.
I mean, let me brag for you before you jump in and start bragging a little bit more.
I won't.
We got Coach of the Year over there or something.
We might have.
Not
me.
Did you expect this?
We did.
Okay. So you got a navigable district.
We do.
Not so navigable. Is that a word? In the region?
Absolutely not.
Kids, I hope you're not listening. But I like the honesty, and I appreciate that. Hey, you're not faking it.
We're fully aware of where we're at.
District championship would be really cool, though.
Yeah.
District championships are hard to get. Just ask the Creekside Knights. Stunner last night. I mean, I don't know about stunning because it's hard in baseball, right? Baseball is one of those, softball, you don't just walk up and win. You can do that in basketball, and you can do that in football. Like, you can just walk up and win. You can do that in other sports. You can't do it in baseball and in softball. And in a lot of sports you can. I'm not saying every sport you can, but you get what I'm saying. Like, you got a pretty good path. You're going to, even with your C-level game, you can get there. The Knights have been one of the best teams in the area. I mean, they're number 19 in the state. Well earned, too, by the way.
Yeah, they've played a lot of good teams.
I mean, they've played a ton. They have one of the hardest schedules all year. And they've played a lot of good ball ever since losing back-to-back to Bartram Trail. A lot of good ball. Their losses have come like walk-off style losses ever since Bartram Trail. All the other ones wins. So that goes all the way like the whole month of March, basically, and into this early part of April. And They lose last night 9-4 to Flagler Palm Coast. They did not play well. Didn't look like they pitched it all that great, which they usually do. They didn't field it well, which they've struggled with at times. And they couldn't get to timely hitting when they could have got back in the game. And they fall. And I mean, they would have been a prohibitive favorite tonight against Atlantic Coast, I would think.
Right.
Even though Atlantic Coast beat them earlier in the year, Knights didn't throw any of their arms. So Atlantic Coast gets a big win over Sandalwood. So Atlantic Coast will play Flagler Palm Coast
tonight. And
as successful as the Knights program has been, last year was the first time in like a decade they had won a district championship. And that run is going to continue. And it looked like it was a really set up well for them in this district this year specifically. And they couldn't get it done. So, I mean, that's just sports. Now, the beauty is the old format used to mean their season was done. They have a tough region. And Class 7A is really tough, but they might be able to still, it looks like they'll still be able to get in the regionals. Now, they'll have to go on the road in this best of three. They might even have to play at Spruce Creek right off the jump, who's number 4 in the state. They did beat them earlier this year and lost to them. So, changes the way you look at things. One other quick note while I'm thinking of this, and probably talk more about it next week when regionals start. You know, the regional format, which I'm still adapting to here too, but it's best of 3. And the first 2 games are at the seed, like the higher seed, right? And the third deciding game is on the road against the team not as seeded as high.
Right.
That is odd to me. In the deciding, like that doesn't happen in sports. A deciding game, home field advantage is usually played at the better team. Well, that's not going to happen in the playoffs here. That's wild. I haven't digested it fully yet, so we'll see how it goes.
I mean, first of all, it's just the only logistical way to get, because most of them are going to be double headers on Monday.
So is that what everybody's doing, is double headers?
I don't know about everybody, but I'm pretty sure.
But yours is set up for a double header, right?
Ours would be with a win.
See, I don't think
Thursday.
I don't think Creekside's was. I was explaining Creekside's going like Tuesday, Wednesday if they were to get in, and then Saturday or something would be the deciding game. I don't. Some of this is travel logistics and everything else, and I don't think the doubleheader is a bad idea. It saves travel,
saves a whole day,
right? But interesting. It's just we're going to live and learn a little bit. And I've also heard some people are already complaining about the best of 3 before it even starts.
Oh, great.
Well, because some people are saying they're tapped out pitching wise during these busier week schedules, so they're. By the time they get to a Friday and they're playing their 3rd or 4th game of a week to try to cram all this in the regular season,
and follow with a Monday,
they just don't have the arms, you know. And so, will it go back the old way? There's some rumors that there'll be, but this is what happens when you try something different.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there. All right, what else we have? We've got First Coast and not Flagler. You have it on here, Flagler, but it's Fletcher.
First Coast and Fletcher, and then Flagler against AC.
So Flagler at AC tonight, and First Coast and Fletcher tonight. That's a fun one with Fletcher and First Coast. And some good games already there between First Coast and Mandarin. That was a 4-3 game.
Yep.
And I think Fletcher won on a no-hitter, by the way. Kyle Johnson, shout out to him. Speaking of no-hitters, I was told, oh, man, yesterday in my chat, now I don't have it. I was told Christ Church threw a no-hitter.
Oh, did they?
In their opening game. And I'm sorry I don't have the young man's name in front of me right now. But Christ Church threw a no-hitter. And then the Watson kid from Trinity Christian threw a no-hitter yesterday. And they win 10-0. So 3 no-hitters in district play this week. That's pretty impressive. Tomorrow you got a lot of big games as well with district championships going on. And then this weekend we'll get that whole regional outlook. I feel like Friday, am I right? Friday's the show that'll announce the regionals. So the idea is for everybody to be done with the district championships by tomorrow night. And then we'll have a good eye on everything. You've got Covenant and Eaglesview tomorrow.
7:00. Fort Family.
So more scores that will trickle in. It was a wild night in softball as well. One of the top games, West Nassau and Baker County go 9 innings. Baker County wins that one 1-0. I think, what was the other one I saw? Oh, Oakleaf beat Baldwin. And Oakleaf is a little bit down this year, but they have Charlie Maddox. She threw a heck of a game. She's having a nice season. She's headed to Dartmouth. She's a really good pitcher for the Knights of Oakleaf and beat Baldwin. who had come in pretty hot to that game. They lost 3-2. So we'll check in with the softball world in just a bit. All right, before we get out, or you tell me when we're ready to get out to UNF, but a couple of things that I want. This isn't a long topic, but we were talking Monday on the show about like the Nico situation at Tennessee, and it got us onto commitment and loyalty and all these other things, and it just reminded us this is why we do something like this show at this level, this youth sports level. And it's totally changed, right? Commitment, loyalty, everything else. In sports, it feels like, with the transfer rule, and even in high school with people moving around, travel ball teams, they move around all the time, everything else. But what we also kind of came up to is like failure is hard to come by sometimes. Like you think about where you fail, and hopefully not many of you fail at work. And do a good job. But people fail in the classroom, right? You learn lessons in the classroom failing. There are different aspects of life where you might fail, from mom, dad, brother, sister, however you look at it, whatever you look at failure. But sports is really where we associate failure, success and failure. And I just got thinking, is it the best tool to learn failure is now sports? And is it like not only the best tool, but the only tool? Because even sometimes in the classroom, you get bailed out, right? You can go make up stuff or whatever. You get dragged through. Maybe it's the system or whatever else, without even always applying yourself maybe to your fullest. And I don't think most people want to be picked up, or most people want to pick other people up that fail, so they don't want them to fail, which is fair. But they actually don't let them fail sometimes when they need to fail. Well, sports doesn't have that. It's not subjective like that. I mean, it's a play here, a play there, an at-bat here, an at-bat there, a pitch here, a pitch there. And so failure, you got to deal with it in sports, and especially the ones we talk about, baseball and softball. So we're thinking of that, and then we flipped it around a little bit and was thinking about winning and how important winning is. And some programs like really win, and you want to be a part of a winner. That's always fun, right? It's more fun when you win. But how important is that now to kids and to people? Is being a part of a winner? Or is playing time more important than that? Or in like the college world, is getting paid more important than that? Is where does that sit with today's like kid? Hamby, what would you say? You're coaching. Mm-hmm. How important is like the winning side of it? And again, if anybody had their choice, they'd like to win. But is it important to kids to be a part of a winning program? Like, do kids go to Trinity Christian or a St. John's Country Day because they're a winning program? Or do they go there because they're going to get recruited?
I mean, I think mostly they go for, first of all, the development and to win. I mean, gosh, that's a tough one. I think the exposure is huge. I think kids probably care a little bit less about winning now than they used to, but I still think, especially at the high school level, it's sky high. And I'm not trying to say that it's low, or I feel like there's a lot of things that have changed, but the desire to win is not. And I think it is important that kids win. I think it's important for them to learn how to win. Obviously, it's important for them to learn how to lose as well. I would say they're about equally important. I just think if you never win and you always just get kicked around, it's hard to only bank on friendships. And luckily in high school baseball, you can kind of rely on those, and those can carry you a long way. So where a lot of your memories can come from the friendships that you make and all of that, but a lot of times the memories are paired with winning, and you're always just going to have a bad taste in your mouth. And first of all, I mean, I probably wish this wasn't the case, but your friendships probably improve just a little bit if you win. If everybody's pissed all of the time because you're always getting, run rolled or everything, it's going to hamper some things.
Yeah, I think, I don't know where it stands with people. I know this when I played, like growing up. I mean, I like to win, but I didn't play on many winning teams. I didn't. But then when I got to college and we did win, it was like awesome. Like, I didn't even play that much. My senior year, we went to the World Series. It's still my favorite year playing ball ever. It's funny, I heard a girl in the dugout at Kaylee's game yesterday, and they won a couple of games, and I heard a girl in the dugout be like, that was the most fun we've had in the dugout. That's the second most fun we've had in the dugout this year. Like, I heard her say that.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, like, I kind of want to know what was the first one. but I was just like, and by the way, this is a young lady that she got in the game, but she wasn't playing the whole day in this doubleheader.
Sure.
And I was just like, winning's fun.
Right.
Especially when you're hitting. They hit a lot yesterday. Hitting's fun, winning's fun, all that stuff. But I just thought it was interesting. People like to be a part of the winner, but I just wonder if it's like the end all be all now, or again, are these other things part of it? Because I do think when you look back on your playing time, whether it's high school, Randall and Bryant said this about her seniors this past week when they celebrated the seniors out at West Nassau, and she's like, this is what the people remember, and they were talking about bus rides and all the trips and things like, which is so true. Like, we don't understand that in real time. We don't want to admit that in real time, but if you win, you remember those. It's fun to talk about, fun to brag about that stuff.
But you're also having a lot more of those times where you go out to eat after the game, after the win.
That is true.
You're not going after you just got beat.
That's a good point. I think that's a fair point that you make. Like, the whole environment is more fun when you're winning. And I would say, like, it's not the end all be all, like winning everything, but sometimes it's more just like, just the ability. At least you feel like you have the chance to win. I would say that. That's really what a lot of people want to be put in. All right, we have Coach Conrad. I can't wait to ask him about this. Jeff Conrad over at the University of North Florida with the softball team, and he's got UNF versus everybody. Well, everybody in the A-Sun is having trouble against UNF so far this year. Only one loss, just came back this past weekend. We talked to you earlier in the year, Coach, and here we are later in the season, and your squad's looking good.
Yeah, we've obviously been off to a good start, and kids have carried it well through the A-Sun season, and feel really good about where we're at. But we've kind of had that Kobe mentality: the job's not done yet, so still work to be done.
I hate to say it like this, but you lost this past weekend. Is that an okay thing?
Yeah, I'm so competitive that I never like losing, but I think for us, like, we had kind of talked internally, like, hey, I don't know about going into the the postseason on a enormous win streak. So I think there could be some things that we can take positive from that. Obviously, we know the second time through teams are really going to be gunning for us, and it's hard to beat a team 3 times in a year, let alone getting into 4, 5, and 6. So we were kind of prepared for all those things, but yeah, I mean, we're trying to just stay focused on what's directly in front of us, and that's JU this weekend.
Kind of talking about success and failure here on the show today, and No Gate Fees presented by Nimnick Buick GMC, Baker Sports, Recycling Simplified, Republic Services, and Perfect Rack Billiards. The success that you're having, I'm sure, breeds better bus trips and locker rooms and dugouts, right? I mean, I bet you get some fun conversations right now.
Yeah, we do. The trip to West Georgia this past weekend was probably the longest trip we've had this year. The kids really look forward just to that extra time, that bonding time. I remember back from my playing days, some of those bus trips are the things that you remember the most. So it was, despite the loss, I think the kids enjoyed getting out of Florida, taking a long trip, spending that extra time with one another, and they do a good job of making the bus a fun place to be. So especially after wins.
Everybody likes to win. There's no doubt about it. If you could pick it, you want to win. But how much do you sense, like, your kids, the players, want to be a part of the winner? How much, like, losing hurts? Or in a long season like you guys have, you got to be able to get by it too, right? Because, I mean, you're going to lose some games.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the reasons we're in the position we're in this year is the way our season ended last year. We've got didn't have a ton of kids coming back, but the kids that we did have coming back had that taste in their mouth all off season of being that close and losing it in the fashion we did, the walk-off and extra innings, realizing how much work and what it takes to get there, but knowing that the motive they've had this year is finish the job, and they've been really locked in on doing that, and they've done a really good job of just just love being around one another. We talked a little bit about it yesterday, and I heard Gino Oriema after the Final Four mention, at one point his team had just fallen in love with one another, and I think that same thing happened with our kids in the fall. I've never been around a group of kids that just genuinely enjoy each other's company, love competing with one another, love going to battle each day with one another, and I think it's definitely been something that's really helped us throughout the season and got us through, some tough times, and I think it's, one of the things that helped us get through Game 2 on Saturday, coming off a loss and having to bounce back on Sunday, is just knowing the love they have for one another and the mission that they're on to try and accomplish something that hasn't really been done here before. And to their credit, they got right back to work on Sunday, and I think got us right back on track.
Jeff Conrad with us live at practice before the big River City Rumble Series, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night at the University of North Florida, 7 o'clock games. By the way, I love that you and JU both did that this year. You put these games at 7 o'clock. I got to believe that was intentional.
Yeah, absolutely. When I took over and the conference started looking at going to 3-game series versus the doubleheader and the single game, it was kind of, whenever we play JU, is the one opportunity that we have the opportunity to do that. So I kind of talked to Erica, seeing what her thoughts were on it, and we both thought it was a good idea. I kind of put the game in prime time, 3 consecutive nights. Just to kind of showcase the series. It's a great rivalry. It's a great series with having 2 schools that are, this close in proximity, that compete in the same conference. And, we've really enjoyed it. The format, it's interesting. I told Erica after the last game over at her place, I don't know if I love it as much as I thought I was going to, because it's really hard to carry momentum from one game to the next. But she reminded me it was my idea, and, I have to own it, and we'll find a way to hopefully keep playing well.
Hey, take us through what happens at practice. So you guys are deep into the season. I mean, this isn't February practice or January practice or fall practice. I mean, what do you try to accomplish before another weekend set? A shortened week. People are tired, injured a little bit, banged up. Give us a little bit of what goes on at a Division I practice this time of year on a Wednesday afternoon, live on No Gate Fees.
Yeah, so a lot of maintenance work. I think we do a really good job of checking in on our kids, see where they're at, seeing what they need, making sure they get that good balance of rest and recovery. I'm very structured as to the way we like to do things, so we keep a pretty consistent routine from week to week. Early in the week, we'll kind of get them, back out moving again, coming off their off day. And then we get towards the middle of the week, we start implementing our game plan for that coming weekend. And then usually that day before becomes more of like a pregame hitting day, or, from the football perspective, like a walkthrough type thing where we're just fine tuning some things. And, that's kind of where we're at in today's portion of our practice, just, getting some swings in on the field. We finished the install of all of our prep for JU earlier, and now we're just kind of, on the backside getting a lot of swings in and, just prepping for what we'll see from their pitchers this weekend.
Is this guy any good at BP or what?
He's not bad. He's actually got a pretty good circle. I think he's a little bit sore. He decided to take on the kids' workout program with them yesterday morning, and I saw pictures of him on his back with his legs in the air, and I think it hit him pretty hard. So I think he's struggling to get through it with the heat and just feeling sore.
You're a former baseball guy. Does it take a while to learn that underhand BP?
It does. Even now, from time to time, when the kids will just throw a ball underhand, I'm just so used to picking up that release point up high, and it catches me off guard on the first couple throws. But yeah, it does take some time. It's a bit of a task to pick up.
All right, let's end with this with Jeff Conrad. We're going to talk to some players throughout the show, too. Appreciate you letting us be live at practice today before the Ospreys play the JU Dolphins. We get closer and closer to the end of the season here in college softball. Listen, this is a high school show for the most part, so softballers out there, and we try to educate moms and dads and coaches and kids some of the things. What should kids expect if they're coming to a place like UNF from a student-athlete perspective? How different is it than high school and travel ball and everything else that exists out there that they're used to, because it's a different animal?
Yeah, it becomes a bit of a, the old adage, it becomes more of a job when you get to this level, and it's very true. I mean, you really have to love it and embrace it to survive it, because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of time management. It's a lot of balance of different tasks and different things that are thrown at you. But I think it's one of the most rewarding experiences you can have. I mean, some of the closest friends I still have to this day were my college teammates and different kids I played with throughout the years. And, we try to provide a great experience for these kids. We're obviously having a great season, but making sure these kids get the true college experience and can enjoy all the wonderful things that we have around our campus that we use to recruit kids to come here, that they have a chance to experience that too.
All right, lastly, this angle doesn't look great to me, but you're not in danger, are you?
No, I was a little bit worried that we were trying to reenact that Evan Longoria commercial from a few years ago, where that line drive comes flying down the line, and somebody was going to rescue me and throw a hand out and catch it or something. But no, the turtle's out, and we're a little bit off. We're offline. It'd take a pretty creative swing, I think, to get a piece of me.
Good. Let's make sure the turtle does its job. Jeff Conrad, good luck this weekend, and good luck the rest of the season too. Appreciate you hanging out with us.
Yeah, thanks you guys for being here, and always great to do this.
All right, that's Jeff Conrad, and best team in the A-Sun right now, the University of North Florida Ospreys, with just one loss. They've really had a heck of a season. He's done a really nice job taking over. He was an assistant and then took over, and he's done a great job. He's a hitting guy too, so they can hit it. And they obviously have Allison Benning, one of the best players in the country, and she's going to join the show here in just a little bit as well. So we'll keep bopping in and out of here on No Gate Fees, presented by Nimnick Buick GMC, Baker Sports, Republic Services, and Perfect Rack Billiards, which will include our Coach of the Week coming up in just a bit. Hey, I want to share something. Speaking of Perfect Rack Billiards, how I got onto that winning side of things, Hamby. Mm-hmm. It kind of relates to a program maybe like Covenant right now, or other programs like Eagles View and other programs out there at the lower levels, let's say. So he sent me this out of the blue, and this is where I really got into the winning side. And I don't even know if he wants his name attached to this, but I just put it out there anyway. I think it's an interesting idea and concept. I don't know if it would ever happen. But he says he's got a simple fix. We're always trying to fix the FHSAA stuff, so I'm on board with them there. They're such a believer in their rankings, so each year's classification should be based off the previous year's rankings. 7A championship is the pinnacle, 1A championship being the lowest part. 84 teams in each classification. Based off today's rankings, local teams in 7A would be this, if you did it this way. Trinity, Buchholz, Creekside, Snyder, St. John's Country Day, Providence, Sewanee, Episcopal, Columbia, Clay, St. Joe's, Bowles, and UC. He said that'd be an awesome regional. It'd make these jobs around the state so much more desirable, as they would have an opportunity to make the playoffs, make a run at a Final Four. And let's see. He says there's probably like 60% of the schools in the area that come in like, okay, we have no chance to win. We've talked a little bit about that. We had like Rebalt's coach on, and we talked, hey, what's the realistic chances of navigating, getting a win? That's why like that game at the baseball grounds is so big. You're playing for a trophy, playing for something, right? And that's where this stuff comes in. How important is it to, at least at the outset of the year, have a chance? Believe you have a chance to win. And there are a lot of teams in baseball and other sports that feel like they really don't have a chance, which is also why winning can't be everything, right? There's a different way to look at it at different schools based on that expectation. In 2A right now, it would be like Stanton, Covenant, Orange Park, Terry Parker, Hilliard, Ribault.
Okay.
And so it would be much more competitive rather than what we saw. I think yesterday we saw like 15-0, 18-3 wins, like Clay beat somebody like that, I think.
Yeah.
So like those are not non-competitive playoff games.
But it's the semifinal.
But the semifinal, a semifinal shouldn't be 18-3.
Well, I guess. You
know what I mean? I mean, in most sports, a semifinal game in a playoff shouldn't be 18-3. So, listen, this is a very hard thing to do.
Yeah.
But would it become more desirable for a student athlete, for a coach, for everybody else, if you had a chance to compete in that, rather than that same 2A? You got Covenant, like you guys will go, what, St. John's Country Day, UC. And maybe Covenant can get there someday, but like Hilliard and Ribault probably aren't.
Right.
Like what year are they going to ever be able to compete in that class to get to like a regional final?
Right.
So
that's a good point.
What I would argue against in this format, this is I'm not really endorsing this format. I like the concept.
Yeah.
But to me, it would fluctuate so much because in high school, it's cyclical. You could be good this year and not good next year. So like you get bumped up to this classification, but you lost 12 seniors.
Then
you're not competing either.
Right.
Right. So but I would say traditionally we know.
I think you want to play the same teams in the regional every year though, if you're able to get there. Like if everything's.
That was another thing I thought about. I was like, well, do you lose rivalries?
Yeah.
Right? Do you kind of this budding? But we're losing that anyway. I mean, I know just down St. Johns County, like Creekside and Bartram Trail have been out of the district together, in the district together, back out. Like now they're like 2 classes separating each other. I think it is like, so it's been all over the map. And you can still play like in the regular season if you do have a rival. So I just thought it was an interesting concept. The bigger picture, it got me onto winning, like how important is winning? Because you're right. I mean, you take away a lot of teams with the opportunity to really compete. You saying we're ready to go back to UNF?
Yep, I think we're ready.
We're ready? All right.
Not yet.
We're not
there
yet.
in a second.
Okay. I thought you were waving. I thought you were waving me down. That you were ready for it.
Do you think that every team would enjoy? I just don't think that the mixing and I think it's hard enough, and the turnover. I mean, if it took us this long to get 2 out of 3,
yeah.
And I know this is just one guy's idea, and I appreciate it because it's given us. It's an interesting thing to debate, but if it takes us this long to get 2 out of 3, I mean, to get a change year in and year out, and I know the districts change every year. It seems like anyway, but it seems like at this point we should probably go for as little change as possible until we really find something that we like.
Yeah, listen, I think this would almost be too much annual change if you did it like this, but it basically brings in relegation and promotion is what it looks like to me. Right? To try to even it out, I think it makes scheduling difficult. All this, there's a lot of different hoops. I like the concept if it was a perfect world. I think also baseball is so different. Baseball to me is different than a lot of the other sports that we talk about, even in the high school ranks, and it's not alone probably, but I say this at the end of the state championships every year. Baseball is the one sport where you could actually crown a true state champion in the state of Florida.
Right.
Not 7 different classifications, but you could actually get them all together to play the following week.
Yeah.
And crown a true state champion.
Right.
But baseball and softball maybe too, and I'm sure again, tennis. There are probably other sports that can do it. Football, you can't do that. You're not pitting the 8A team, 7A team against the 1A school in football, right? And maybe football's the only sport that you can't. I don't know. But I always thought that part was interesting. Like, again, sports are big. If sports matters so much, wouldn't it be kind of cool to crown a true state champion like the following week? Mm-hmm. If you could do it in a 3-day window or something,
sure. I mean,
which you can in baseball.
Right.
Could you do it in basketball? Probably.
Yeah.
You probably could do it in a lot of sports. I just think that would be kind of neat. If we could sponsor something someday down the road, I think that would be a cool thing to sponsor and make happen. Of course, they wouldn't let us do it. Like I already know. But they wouldn't let us do it. All right, we're going back over to UNF, I think.
Yep.
And I think we have Allison Benning now with us. Yes, we do. Hey, Allison, how you doing? It's Brent Martineau here with Action Sports Jacks.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good. By the way, I saw yesterday you want to have our job. You did a great job reporting on the game.
Thanks. Coach Murray told me I need to smile a little bit more, so I'll write that one down for next time.
Well, you can practice here. Make sure you're smiling a lot for the next few minutes. Was that something that you wanted to do, or did somebody talk you into doing some sideline reporting?
No, I really wanted to do it. I've been wanting to do sports media for a long time. I really wanted to be like an analyst or a play-by-play, but sideline came up, and that was a really good opportunity, so I thought, why not?
That's awesome. That was good to see during the baseball game yesterday. And, well, they don't want you to sideline report on the softball diamond. They want you playing, and you do plenty of that. Preseason ASUN Player of the Year, 5-time ASUN Weekly Award winner already in 2025. You came into this season with a lot of expectation, and I'm sure your own expectation. How have you been able to navigate that, and how do you feel like you've performed?
So I really try not to focus on the preseason superlatives. I feel like it's just an indicator of last year, and I wanted to have a good season this year, not without a focus being on last year. So I really am just trying to focus on living up to my own expectations. I think the season's gone well. I think I've improved in a lot of aspects, so I'm just looking to finish the season strong.
Do you feel like people come to the plate against you with a little bit more focus, or people pitch against you with a little bit more focus? Because, listen, you're not a secret, right? What you did last year and what you've done so far is obviously well scouted. Do you sense that sometimes as a player?
Sometimes I try not to focus on other people. I'm trying to focus on myself. So I'm not really like paying attention to what other people are doing. But yeah, you can definitely feel it sometimes for sure.
What is fun about this team? Obviously, winning is fun, and you guys are doing a bunch of that. But what do you like about this squad, this program? You came from Oregon. I'm sure you had a lot of other suitors as well, and you found a home here in Jacksonville at the University of North Florida. What have you enjoyed about it?
This is a fun team. I think we do a good job of balancing fun while also being serious and working hard. So I think that that's been really fun. Like, it's fun to come to practice. We all laugh together. Our coach actually ran the stadium with us the other day because he wanted to challenge. He challenged us to a stadium, and he was like, "Oh, I can outrun you guys." And it was funny just seeing them try to do what we do. So it's been a lot of fun.
By the way, practice this time of year, you don't get a lot of them in because you're playing a bunch, but what is that like? Is it kind of like, oh gosh, we got to go to practice again? Or is it kind of laid back now this time of year and now you're just kind of lighter and get ready for games?
So we usually scrimmage on Tuesdays, so we'll have Monday off, and then we'll scrimmage on Tuesdays just to get some reps in, get a lot of ground balls, get some live pitching in, get live at bats. So we'll do that, and then we'll work on what we think we needed to work on from the past weekend. And then today, like the day before a game, we'll freshen up on who we're facing, the scouting report. Pitchers will go through their lineup just to make sure we know what we're going up against, and then we'll do what we're doing right now, which is pregame hitting, which is always the best part of the week, besides games.
Yeah, pregame hitting's good. And do you like hitting more than pitching, or do you have a preference?
I get this question a lot. I don't think I have a preference, really. I've heard people say that I'm a better pitcher. I've heard other people say I'm a better hitter. So I think I pride myself in being someone that pitches and hits, not like a hitter who pitches or a pitcher who hits.
What is well, I don't want to give the scouting report on your pitching, but how about on the hitting side? I won't say like what's your favorite pitch, because then you might throw that a lot, but and people might be watching. We don't want to give them too much of an advantage, but why are you such a good hitter? Because hitting's hard. And I mean, do you feel like you have good control of the zone, good eyesight? Do you just have a knack for squaring it up? Like, how would you describe your best attributes as a hitter?
I would say, like, this year I've worked on not swinging at pitches out of the strike zone. My teammates always tell me don't go fishing, which basically means don't swing at balls out of the strike zone. So I've been trying to work on that. I think I've also been trying to work on hitting the ball to all fields. I'm usually a power pull side hitter, but I've been trying to work on lately going to the opposite field, going to dead center field. So I would say that I'm able to hit for power for all fields, but I'm also able to get on base, which has helped me a lot.
In the fall, we saw a fall ball game, and you hit a ball like onto the beach volleyball court in right field, and somebody's like, "That's the farthest ball I've ever seen anybody hit." I don't know if you remember that swing, but do you have one that you're like, "That's the farthest one I've ever hit"? Does anything come to mind?
I don't know, honestly, about the furthest one I've hit. It was probably in the conference tournament because those fences were really deep. And I hit one to dead center that went really far. And Coach Jeff told me someone said that was the furthest ball I've ever seen hit in that park. So it was pretty cool.
Hey, we'll let you get back to practice, although I'm probably stealing some good practice time. You probably don't mind that right now. But don't worry, I don't see anybody running behind you, so you're not missing that part. What about this series with JU coming up? How fun is that rivalry with both of you guys right here in the city? Can you feel the intensity when you're playing over there and then playing here at the University of North Florida these next 3 nights?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So obviously, like, I've never been in an in-city rivalry until last year when I first came here. So like, it's a lot different than an in-state rivalry like Oregon versus Oregon State. An in-city rivalry is much more intense because like you're playing for the city of Jacksonville. So I think obviously we had a great series against them a couple of weeks ago. We're looking to keep that momentum going into this weekend. It's going to be fun. I'm excited.
Do you like the Shohei Ohtani references?
I think it's pretty funny because I don't really watch Major League Baseball, but I mean, everybody knows who Shohei Ohtani is, so being compared to Shohei Ohtani is pretty cool.
All right, one other one. How about the young lady from Tennessee that threw 78 miles an hour? How insane is that?
That's like nuts to me, honestly. Like, I couldn't fathom being able to throw close to 78 miles an hour. I used to be able to throw like 70 miles an hour, but 78 is no joke. It's crazy.
So what do you top out at now?
I would say I'm throwing like 67 is probably my highest. I'm usually more around 65, just in the mid 60s. I rely a lot on changing speeds, so I'm not like gonna just blow it by the hitter. I'm also gonna like mix it around a lot.
That's interesting. You said you used to throw 70. So what? Like, did you change something fundamentally, mechanically, or did your arm get tired?
I don't know. I've just gotten older a little bit, you know. That was when I was like 17, so I've gotten older, and I don't know. But
yeah, that's interesting.
It's working now, so.
Yeah. Hey, 67 seems to be just fine the way you're throwing it. You can keep doing it. One last thing. I'm looking at the BP pitcher behind you. Is there don't worry, he can't hear me, all right? So who's the best BP thrower on your staff?
That's a really good question because I like Mario's BP because it's like fat right down the middle. But Coach Fies will throw sometimes, and it's really good practice because like she'll go live at bats and she's throwing like 70 miles an hour and like has crazy spin. So she's harder than any pitcher in our conference to hit off of. So it's just great reps.
Wow. Did she play at Oregon? Is that right?
No, she played at Minnesota.
And Minnesota.
And now she plays for the Oklahoma City Spark.
Okay. Well, that's pretty good stuff. I guess, yeah, you got real action. That's not BP, by the way. That's that's real stuff.
That's not BP.
Allison Benning, hey, good luck
That's like you got to focus.
Yeah, you bet. Good luck this weekend. Good luck the rest of the year, and congrats on a great couple of seasons at UNF.
Thank you.
That is Allison Benning, the two-way star for the University of North Florida Ospreys. Bowls and Episcopal played earlier this week. This is the District of Death.
Facts.
I mean, Episcopal won this game, and then they got no hit last night by Trinity Christian. So what do we have on that? We got Trinity and Bishop Snyder, right?
Trinity and Snyder tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Do you have all the other matchups in front of you?
Yeah, I got them.
What else you got?
So that's the big one. That'll be Dennis versus probably be Dennis versus Harris, if I had to guess, or Wheeler, excuse me. And then we'll have St. Joe's against St. John's.
Now, listen, that's interesting because St. Joe's beat them last year in the district championship.
Right.
Or in the semifinal. I think it was the championship.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a little bit of a revenge game for the 1-2 punch for St. John's Country Day.
Yeah, I think West Nassau versus Fernandina Beach will be a great one.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Really good.
I'm excited to see what comes of that one. I think a sleeper could be Paxton versus Swanee. That's two teams that got, Paxton got, I've spoken highly of Paxton all year.
And Paxton just beat Baldwin last night, too.
And Swanee's gone underrated. They got 18 wins.
Yeah, Swanee's a little bit out of our area,
right?
So
you
we
can't
don't
fake your way to 18 wins.
No, not in the state, not in baseball.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, another good win. Yulee had a good win last night over St. Augustine.
Yeah. And then I think Bishop Kenny won, so it'll be Bishop Kenny Yulee. So Yulee,
so it's Bishop Kenny Yulee in the state in the district championship.
Yeah, not what you would have guessed.
Well, yeah, or just sometimes they're a little bit. You can navigate them a little bit, right? Because I don't know what I would have guessed there, but I can tell you this, specifically, Bishop Kenny has not been where they normally are,
right?
But they still got a chance to go win a district championship.
Yeah, the other one I got my eye on is Inglewood Ponte Vedra. You could probably go ahead and pencil that in to be a one-run game. Inglewood just beat Beachside 2-1. Both of those teams have only seemed like they've every single game been one run. every time out.
And I don't think Inglewood used Petruno last night.
Correct.
So I think they saved him for this, and they were able to get by Beachside.
Right.
And now we'll see if they can win the district with the what do they got going? The dog, the rally dog.
The rally dog.
Rally dog's been big.
We fell victim.
Okay.
So
there you go. That's the rundown.
those are some big ones.
And again, we're still like a week or 2 weeks, I think, away. 2 weeks away from district action in softball. That's the week of April 27th coming up. So baseball way ahead to get ready for these regionals. Hey, let's give away our Perfect Rack Billiards Coach of the Week. I'm still waiting on an Up of the Week, Fran Delaney. We're going to give an Up of the Week from last week, and we can't find one. See, that's what happens with the umpires. Can't even find an Up of the Week.
Last night in our semifinal, we got one of our guys failed to slide in at second base and didn't. I thought he maybe got it out of the way, but the home plate umpire called it. We had a 3-man crew for the first time. It was very nice, but the home plate umpire calls the runner out, ending inning double play. I walked back to the dugout because.
You were happy about that call.
Well, I was not happy about the call, but I know that I can't go out there and say, hey, that's not your call because his friend laid out. That's a home plate umpire's call.
You got it. You got it right. I was actually defending an ump yesterday. The coach, he argued two things that, were totally wrong. I have video of it. It was and I was like, no, she got it right. Listen, I'm the last one that defends umps in this stuff, but she totally got it right and you're going insane. You're wrong. I was defending umpires yesterday. I just want to let you know, Fran Delaney. Our umpire show from a week and a half ago. Hey, let's give out our Perfect Rack Billiards Coach of the Week to Boomer Bernstein from Fletcher. Fletcher's playing good ball again. I'm not sure Barnsley's going to like that against the First Coast Bucks tonight, but Barnsley already won a Coach of the Week earlier this year.
Yeah, he is.
So take the staff to Perfect Rack Billiards and a $100 gift card going to Boomer Bernstein for Fletcher. I've heard some really good things from other folks about the Fletcher program and what he's done the last couple of years, and they've got themselves in a nice position here tonight to try to win a district championship. And they flirted, by the way, with the top 5, high 5 power poll, and they were in it one time this year. So, and I almost had them in it again this time around. We go back to these highlights. That was the finish of a no-hitter by Kyle Johnson, and Fletcher got it done. We'll see what they have in store tonight against the First Coast Bucks. And we'll keep you posted on that one tonight and, of course, throughout the next couple of days. Yeah, Calvin Senators, baby. All right, it is time to go back to the University of North Florida. We'll get some of our committed to the uncommitted in just a little bit as well, and our high 5 power polls in high school baseball and softball. But let's wrap up with the University of North Florida, and we visit with Grace Shaw-Rocky right now over at UNF practice. Grace, Brent Martineau here for No Gate Fees and Action Sports Jacks. Hope you're doing well, having a good day, getting ready for a big series against JU tomorrow.
Yes, having a super great day. It's super nice weather out, and we're just kind of getting a good feel-good day in before we go and play our big series this weekend.
Well, you guys are feeling really good. I know there was expectation on you guys to perform this season, but you've delivered so far. How happy are you guys about that? How good are you feeling in terms of confidence at this point of the season, trying to accomplish the list of goals that you guys have?
Look, we came into this year, and we were here last year at least my class was here on our official visit weekend, and we got to see the big class of seniors graduate who meant so much to this program. And so my class and everybody who was here last year want to step up and do what we can for those seniors who graduated because they meant so much to this program. They've had a second place finish in the ASUN tournament last year, and so we're just trying to do everything we can to follow in their footsteps, but do it even better and win for them. I mean, we work hard every single day we're out here, and I'm just really thrilled to be a part of it. And I know everyone out here is ecstatic. We love each other, and I think we're a great team and have even greater things ahead of us.
What's this transition been like for you from high school? On this show right here we talk high school softball and baseball a lot, and that transition can be a difficult one. You're a freshman that's playing and contributing. That's harder and harder to do these days, especially at the Division I level. But what's the transition been like?
Lucky for me, I was prepared really well at the prep and high school and travel level. I played against some of the best competition in the country at the travel level. My freshman and sophomore year, we won states. I had a great coach there, I had a great coach in travel ball. So I felt super prepared coming in. I knew when I got here I was going to have to work really hard to earn a spot, and I just competed my butt off, and I think that I've done a really good job at carrying what I've learned at the prep level to here. And I just think that it's hard, but I was prepared enough at a younger age to succeed here.
Yeah, we asked today on the show, like, winning and how important is it to, like, have a chance to win, and then obviously winning is always fun. Everybody would pick that over losing, but to go to a place where you have a chance to win. Well, you come from Lakewood Ranch. I mean, and you said it, state championships, the expectation is to win. So I got to believe that was important at this level, right? To be able to find a place that you'd at least have a chance to compete for really good seasons and hopefully conference championships.
Yeah, I mean, I came here because I had a couple of my teammates who were like family to me at Lakewood Ranch, and they came here because they saw the same success I did. This program breeds success. We've been closer and closer every year to winning a conference championship. So if I had any chance to be a part of winning a conference championship and being a part of a stepping stone in history for this program, I would have loved to contribute, loved to be a part of it. Obviously, I love to win. I've done it twice and contributed at the high school level, and it's such a great experience. And I think everybody here wants to have that same championship winning feeling that we had before. And yeah, winning is fun, that's for sure.
Winning is fun. Hey, you're hitting 418 RBIs. You were player of the week as a freshman, first ever Osprey to do that. Is it hard to ignore some of those numbers when you're having a nice season? I know you're concentrating on winning and you just try to go do your job, but it's human nature sometimes to get wrapped up in, I would like to finish X or do this. Is it hard to ignore some of the numbers that you're putting up?
I'm a numbers person, so honestly, I love to look at the numbers. The numbers fuel me. I came in here knowing what I wanted to do. I had high standards for myself because I'd succeeded for so long that I'm not going to lower the bar for myself just because I'm stepping up to a new level. I came here knowing that I wanted to succeed, and so these numbers are just what I expected myself to do. I work hard every day to make sure that I fulfill the goals that I set for myself this season, and the outside accolades are just it's just obviously I want to contribute to my team. That's the main goal. I try to do my best to just be the best hitter for my team, best outfitter for my team, best teammate. And so just the numbers and the accolades, it obviously makes me feel good, but just knowing I have great hitters behind me in the lineup, that's what really matters to me.
Yeah, well, good luck the rest of the way, and hope you continue that here this freshman season. It's been outstanding. What's it like playing with Allison? This is a unique talent for this level, right? I mean, you don't usually get this kind of player playing in the ASUN. Obviously, she can do it on the mound and with the bat. What's that like to see every day?
I think in the outfield, just playing behind her, I think her stuff's electric. I mean, the way that she can mix in all her pitches and just hitters can be expecting a pitch from her and still miss it. I mean, it's just electric. I love the energy that she brings on the mound, and she's such a crucial part of our offense. I think that even though that girl can hit the ball so hard, I think she has great patience. I think she's a really good team hitter as well. She's very sacrificial. She's very situational. She knows how to get her RBIs in. And so just being able to play next to her, it's an honor, and I'm so glad I get to play next to her for her senior season.
Awesome. Well, hey, continued success. Good luck. You're new to the rivalry, but I bet you feel the rivalry already, right, with JU?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, we played there at the first series, and that environment was crazy. Everybody was going crazy, both sides, just going back and forth, sending punches. And I'm glad we got the sweep the first time, but second time, we're hoping for the same thing.
All right, well, good luck. We'll see you tomorrow night, 7 o'clock at the UNF, and thanks for taking a few minutes. Grace Shaw-Rocky, outstanding freshman season so far.
Thank you.
You bet. All right, good to stop by University of North Florida Softball. Thanks to Marcel Robinson and everybody at the UNF for doing that. Big series coming up tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday. And again, local kids, get out there and check that out and watch some action. That'll be good to do. Let's get to our high five power polls. And Hamby, I'm going to direct you. I know we've got a bunch of committeds, but we'll get to the Middleburg. There's two softballers from Middleburg, if you can identify them. That's who we'll acknowledge today, and then we've got a few more weeks to get more of the kids on. So let's go our high five power polls, and All right, here's what we did. I could have changed this last night. I didn't. Even though Creekside has lost now to DeLand and also Flagler Palm Coast the last 2 times out, I still think their resume says a lot. What's crazy is they're just going to sneak in, I think, the regional playoffs. I mean, they've been the best public school team, Hamby. They're like top 20 in the state for the last few weeks. And I think they might have to just sneak in that regional. That regional is going to be good. Tough. So they're Clay. If you go look at their record, the teams they've lost to, same with Columbia, by the way. The losses are like good losses, you would say. Just good teams they're competing against. And Tokoi Creek, they're in their district championship game, right? They won last night. So I don't know if we mentioned them, but I think they're in it. Unless they're not in the championship yet. But they beat Bartram last night. So who would they be playing? They playing Ponte Vedra? Did you mention that one? Maybe you did mention that one.
Inglewood's playing Ponte Vedra.
Oh, Inglewood's playing Ponte Vedra, yeah. Who's Tokoi Creek?
Oh, they got Buckholz.
Oh, Buchholz.
25-1.
Yeah, Buchholz is good. Yeah. Tokoi Creek's played a lot of competition. We'll see if they can. They're not afraid of the competition. They went down to South Florida and played some good teams, and obviously play enough here. What's really interesting to me is St. Johns County. Bartram's out. Creekside just barely in. We'll see what happens with Ponte Vedra. Tokoi Creek might be could be the last one standing, depending on what they can do. Atlantic Coast plays tonight. It was kind of for me between Atlantic Coast and Fletcher. You can throw Fernandina Beach and even West Nassau in the mix. There are a bunch of teams in that 5 spot that you could play with. All right, what do we got? Trinity. This didn't really change for me. Should it have?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Providence right there too now, but lost to Snyder.
6-5, yeah. Tight ball game.
Okay, you got 4 of those teams in the same district.
Crazy.
I laugh. They're not laughing. That is kind of insane that you have that. All right, what else we got? We go to softball, and I flip-flop Baldwin Atlantic Coast. Baldwin beat Atlantic Coast in the Gateway Conference Championship. Atlantic Coast got them earlier. I don't think Morgan Brown pitched for Atlantic Coast in that Baldwin game, so that's an interesting twist to it. Baldwin did just lose yesterday, and then you got Middleburg. Episcopal had won 11 in a row before losing, surprisingly, to First Coast. I think they lost to this week, but they'd won 11 in a row. So there's our high five in softball and baseball. We want to get to our Committed to the Uncommitted, presented by Nimnik Buick GMC and our scholarship program. Hey, we got Emma Ward from Middleburg. She is on our list, and Ashley Houston, the softball coach at Middleburg, giving us a little bit of intel on both of these young ladies that we're going to show you. And
we have 3 today, actually.
Oh, we have 3 from. Okay, yeah, we got Mallory Ficklin, we got Emma Ward, and Maddie Strickland. Mm-hmm. Maddie having a great season behind the plate, according to Coach. Just hit her first homer of the season Friday night. And then the Emma Ward and also Mallory Ficklin playing good ball for Middleburg, obviously one of the top teams in the area. So those are juniors. So still plenty of time. They're going to have a big summer coming up. But part of our Committed to the Uncommitted, we'll highlight some juniors as well in the baseball and softball world. And we've got a bunch of juniors we're going to highlight over the next few weeks as well. So a shout out to Maddie Strickland, Emma Ward, and Mallory Ficklin from Middleburg High School. All right, you ready to go tomorrow night against Eaglesview?
Let's do it, baby. Got a little history to make. Might have
feel
to bring
good?
out a Kirby Smart pregame
It's going to be a good game?
It'll be a good one.
All right. We'll see. Good luck to everybody tonight. We'll hopefully be out at 1 or 2 of those games. And then tomorrow as well. Good luck winning district championships. We'll do it again next week. No gate fees presented by Nimnik Buick GMC, Baker Sports, Perfect Rack Billiards, and Republic Services.